What's going on, boys and girls, and welcome back to Project Zangetsu. What's up, guys? It's another day. I think it's the next day from the last clip we saw. I can't remember exactly what all I filmed, but I think we ended up where we decided to loosen the engine mounting at the bottom because we need to actually jack the car up so that we can put heater coils in those two middle holes. We were able to tighten the top three. The bottom three were already working well, so we didn't need to do anything there, thank goodness. But then the middle two, the guy who's helping me put in heater coils in the engine wasn't able to actually get access to them because of the positioning in the plant. So I then decided that I'm going to loosen the bottom engine mount, and now I'm going to undo the intercooler, which was serving as my tools tray up till this point. I need to basically undo that so that I can remove it, so that I can get access to the pitch stop mount, which is basically mounted between the firewall and the gearbox, the transmission, so that it doesn't impede the engine's levitation when I jack it. So, gonna be quite an involved process. Wish me luck. Okay guys, so the intercooler has now been removed. I apologize for not showing all the work, but I'm working alone and I only have two hands, so my apologies. I'm doing the best I can, just trying to put some light in there for you guys to see. That is our pitch top mount right there. That thing that looks like a wishbone, that's between two bolts. So what it's connected to on this side is the transmission. Then on that side it's connected to the rest of the car on the firewall or the frame. So basically we are going to disconnect this so that from those two bolts there, so that when we jack the engine up, it can actually move freely without being restricted by that pitch top mount. So wish us luck. As if Subaru engines didn't look messy before. Alright guys, now on the menu for today is we are going to be cleaning out this area here surrounding the camshafts and this part of the head basically of the engine, just to make sure there isn't going to be any metal shavings or impurities going into the rest of the engine when the engine turns on and oil is flowing and stuff, because that could result in a catastrophic failure and we do not want that. So stay tuned. Okay, so we've cleaned every little bit of metal shaving and general dirt and stuff that we could find, especially those that were in this area of the camshaft and the engine head, just to make sure nothing goes into the engine. There's a little bit down there on the exhaust manifold, but that's out of the engine already, so I'm not worried about that. Okay. Okay, now we are just tightening this engine mount bolt. I've already put it back in. I'm just basically double checking now to make sure. So I won't be able to film the actual tightening because I'm gonna need both hands. Okay, so we've finally gotten everything buttoned up, back together, put in. All the bolts have been threaded and they're all locked, so things are looking good. Now I just need to get the battery charged, and from there we'll be able to start the car and really test and have our moment of truth to see if we really have resolved the issue. So wish me luck. Man, I haven't seen this engine bay looking like this in a very long time. Okay, I guess you can stop charging. Yeah. Okay, so as you guys saw in that previous clip, my clumsy ass and my fat ass digits for fingers dropped a bolt into the transmission. So it fell in through the hole at the top of the transmission where the clutch fork goes, where it pulls the clutch back and forth when you press the clutch pedal. So the fork itself protrudes out of the gearbox, and there's a bit of a hole there. And the bolt that I dropped in there was a 10mm bolt, the one that's normally used to fasten the air intake duct in the engine bay at the front of the engine. So yeah, my dumbass dropped that bolt down there, so now I have to basically fish it out. So I need to get a magnet. There's several ways to do it, but the way that I'm gonna choose to do it is to lower a magnet down into either that hole in the clutch fork, or there's also another hole at the top of the transmission on the engine side, which is a flywheel inspection plate that you can remove so that you can basically see if the flywheel was damaged or not. So those are the options I have. So now it's either I have to wait until tomorrow to get a magnet, or makeshift bolt retriever. So there's a magnet on the end of this wire hanger that I cable tied first to a cable tie, and then I cable tied the cable tie to the wire hanger with the magnet at the end of the thing. So now I'm going to try and fish for the missing bolt. I'm trying to maneuver the wire and the magnet past the clutch fork. Bit of a challenge because the magnet keeps getting attracted to the clutch fork itself. So bear with me. Okay guys, welcome to the end of this video. It's a bummer one because yet again we still haven't yet completely fixed the car to get it driving. We are finished with fixing the bolt holes by the tappet cover on the driver's side, or the right hand side for my American audiences, of the engine. The bolts are now locking and everything, but now the mistake that I made while fixing things is that in order for us to get to the bottom 3 bolts, for us to be able to repair them, I needed to actually jack the engine up so that the guy who was fixing the threads could actually get to those bolts. because you know how Subaru engines are configured. Everything is on the side in terms of like changing spark plugs and stuff. So it's hard to get access to certain areas of the engine to work on it. So what I had to do was to jack the engine up to a level where you can reach it. But in order for me to do that, I needed to loosen the engine mount at the bottom of the engine on the cross member, as well as the pitch stop mount, which is between the gearbox and the firewall. It's what keeps the gearbox like stable, so it doesn't shudder and stuff. So there's no torque that goes through it, like when changing gears or accelerating or stopping or whatever the case is. So I had to loosen both those things. And now in order to get access to the pitch stop mount, I needed to remove the intercooler. So now I've got a very bad habit of, when I'm working on my car, especially in the engine bay, I tend to use the intercooler as like a bolts tray or a tools tray. I just put things there while I'm working. So now what I didn't think about when removing the intercooler was to first remove all of those things. So what actually happened was that one of the 12mm bolts that I removed from the intake duct actually fell into either the engine or the transmission. So now what I'm busy doing now is I'm trying to inspect the transmission as best as I can without actually removing it, because I don't have the tools to do that easily, you know, so that I can just make sure that the bolt hasn't fallen in there. Because if it's fallen in there, that's an easy fix. It's just a matter of pulling it out somehow, and then tightening up the transmission again, charging the battery, and we're good to go. So that's now the biggest hurdle at the moment. It's been 3 weeks since my last upload. One of the reasons why it's been so long is because I really wanted to post a conclusion to this series now, you know, because it's been going on for so long. This is literally part 7, if I'm not mistaken. So the getting the bolt out of the transmission has been, well, checking to make sure that it is in the transmission first of all, has been tripping me up a lot. Because I don't have the proper tools for it. I don't have a lot of assistance. The people that I normally work with when it comes to these things haven't been able to come out to me, so I've just been on my own with it. I mean, I would take it to a workshop because that's the easiest fix. It's just that I don't currently have the funds for that, because I would literally have to tow it out of my parking lot, which is underground. But yeah, so if it's so I haven't been able to do that because of resources. So if it is in the transmission, that would be lucky, because then I can pull it out myself and just tighten up the transmission again and go. But if it's in the engine, that's a different story. That's where now I think I would likely maybe want to get a new engine, or maybe STI swap the car, because the cost of pulling the engine out, opening the head to see if the bolt fell in there through the throttle body, the labor on that alone is it's gonna be, I think, close to paying for like a head gasket job, because there's gonna be engineering involved. You see, because it's gonna be taking the engine out, pulling the engine apart, and then once we get the bolt out, we can't just put the engine back together. We're probably gonna need new gaskets. The head is gonna need to be machined. And the last time I did a head gasket job, it was about 24k. That's 24,000 rands for those of y'all that are not aware. So a WRX engine of the same year at a certain import engine like warehouse is about 8.5k. So it's either I'm gonna do that, or if I've got enough budget at the time when I do this, I'll either do that or I'll just do a full STI swap, where I'll just get an STI engine, STI ECU, STI transmission, and all the powertrains, the side shafts, the prop shaft, and everything. It would mean that I'd have to change my wheels as well, because they've got a different ball pattern. But you know, that's a problem for them. Hopefully, you know, the budget will be enough to actually include all of those things, you know. But I am hoping it's in the transmission. So that's where I'm stuck for now. So any of you who are knowledgeable about these kind of things, I would love to hear some tips in the comment section below. Or maybe if someone is able to come out and assist, outside of those that have already tried, because I don't wanna pester you guys. Or if someone is willing, out of the goodness of their own heart, to come out and actually help out, I would deeply appreciate that too. I wish I could pay you, but I just can't at the moment. But that's gonna bring us to the end of this bummer video. This is so annoying and frustrating, but hey, videos have to be made. And yeah, hopefully I can make videos of a different nature that don't necessarily have to feature my car if it's still going to be down for the foreseeable future. But in any case, guys, if you enjoyed that, please click on the thumbs up icon and leave us a like. And if you'd like to see more from Project Zangetsu, please go ahead and click subscribe. And be sure to hit that bell icon so you are notified each and every time I drop new content on this channel. As usual, people, take care of each other, stay awesome, and keep the dream alive. Peace.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my own